20 years ago, when I started investing, there was only one choice for your retirement account, the RRSP. The TFSA didn't exist yet, and in fact, it wouldn't be introduced until 2009. So I did what every responsible person was told to do. I attempted to max out my RSP every year and every chance that I got. I learned about the magic of compound interest, about tax-deductible contributions, and tax-deferred growth. I thought, this is it. This is how I will build wealth. This is how I will make sure that I don't end up struggling in retirement. So basically, when I'm forced not to work or don't want to work anymore. But here's the thing I didn't think about. I was building wealth in an account designed for a traditional retirement at 65, while completely ignoring an account, once it was finally existed, that gives me the flexibility way before that. Today, I'm breaking down what I got wrong and why it took me so long to see it, and what I am doing to fix it. Let's talk about it. Before we get started, I'm not a financial advisor or investment advisor. I'm just sharing what I'm doing with my own money and what I've learned along the way. And if you haven't been here before, let me introduce myself. My name is Lianne. I'm a CPA who's been managing my own retirement investments for over 15 years. This video is probably one of the most important because I really want to walk you through what is an almost 2-decade-long mistake that I made, not because I didn't know how to invest, but because I followed advice that really wasn't built for me. And if you're watching this thinking, I've been doing everything I'm supposed to do, but it still doesn't feel right, you are definitely going to relate to what I have to say here. So first, let me rewind to the beginning. About 20 years ago, I was in my mid-20s, just starting out in my career, and everyone told me the same thing. Start saving for retirement now. Use your RRSP, get compound interest working. So I did. I opened an RRSP, I contributed, and I was hooked. As I learned about compound interest, I learned that if I contributed as little as $5,000 at the age of 25, it could be worth $50,000 by the time I retired. That was the power of tax-deferred growth. No taxes on income, dividend, or capital gains while it resided in this account. And the tax deduction, well, that felt like free money. If you were in a decent tax bracket, for every $10,000 you contributed, you got $3,000 to $4,000 back at tax time. And here's the thing. I am the eldest daughter in an immigrant family. My parents are smart and resourceful. They built a life here from scratch, but they didn't necessarily have the same financial opportunities that I did. I knew even back then that I was going to be a family safety net. So I thought, if I max my RSP every chance I get, if I build this up, I'll be able to not only take care of myself, but help them when they needed it. Then, in 2009, the government introduced the TFSA. And honestly, I barely paid attention. I thought, it's just a savings account. My RSP is for retirement. The TFSA is for, I don't know, vacation money, saving for your emergency fund. So I kept doing what I was doing. I was maxing out my RSP and getting those tax refunds, feeling good about the work that I was doing to secure my future. But here's what I didn't really realize. I had learned how to build wealth, but I hadn't learned in which account to build it in to truly optimize my options in the future. So what's the real problem? The RRSP strategy I was following was built on the assumption that didn't match my actual life. The first assumption with the RRSP is that you will be in a lower tax bracket in retirement. The whole RRSP pitch is this: save tax now when your income is high, pay tax later when your income is low. Well, I'm in my mid-40s now, and my RRSP that I've been maximizing has grown significantly. And I'm realizing I might not be in a lower tax bracket in retirement. You do have to convert your RRSP into a RIP by December 31st of the year you turn 71. So once converted, those mandatory minimum withdrawals begin. And those withdrawals are treated as income. So if my RRSP is large, those forced withdrawals plus CPP and any other types of income would push me into the same or higher tax bracket that I'm in now. So that tax deduction I got 20 years ago, I might be paying it back and at a higher rate. Assumption number 2, that you won't actually need the money until 65 or traditional retirement. And this is a big one. This is because the RRSP is designed for traditional retirement, work until 65, then withdraw. But my life doesn't look like that. My mom is retired, and I help support her by paying a mortgage. It's basically for savings, but it also means I need to have money accessible to support my family. Plus, for me, I want options. I'm serving on boards now. I'm building a financial education business. I might want to semi-retire in my 50s and travel a lot, or maybe pivot completely. But my RRSP wasn't really designed to be accessed during working years. If I withdraw while I'm still working full time, I could face withholding tax, and that income gets added on top of my current income, pushing me into a higher tax bracket. Plus, I will lose that contribution room forever. It's accessible, yes, but it's expensive in my situation. Assumption number 3 is that you are only planning for yourself. The RRSP strategy assumes that you're planning for your own retirement and maybe for that of a spouse. But it doesn't really account for being the family safety net and really supporting multiple generations. As a daughter of immigrants and first gen, I'm not only planning for my retirement, I'm planning for multi-generational support. So I really do need flexibility, not money that's expensive to access before a traditional retirement age. Look, the RRSP, it is not bad at all. It's just designed for a different life than the one that I'm actually living. So why did I ignore my TFSA for 15 years after it was introduced? Honestly, the first reason is that the TFSA was marketed as a savings account, mainly through the banks. When the TFSA was introduced in 2009, the messaging was tax-free savings account, save for a car, save for a vacation, short-term goals. Nobody actually said this is the best retirement vehicle you will need if you want flexibility before traditional retirement. I already had my retirement account, my RSP, so I thought the TFSA was just for other stuff. Reason number 2, managing your own investment was actually way harder back then. When I started investing 20 years ago, if you wanted to manage your own investments, you had to call up a discount broker on the phone, pay anywhere from $9 to $29 per trade. That's each way. So both buying and selling, $58 round trip. You had to navigate complicated trading platforms designed for professional traders. There were no robo-advisors, no user-friendly apps, no all-in-one ETFs. By the time TFSAs came around in 2009, I'd already built my RSP with the tools that were already available, which meant sticking to my plan and also paying probably high trading fees that I was trying to get down. The idea of opening yet another account to manage, probably a smaller account, felt like not only too much work, but probably way too expensive. Today's a lot different. Today, you can open a TFSA on your phone in 10 minutes, even buy one ETF, and pay 0 commissions. It's so much easier now than when I got started. And by the time those tools did exist, I was already deep into my RRSP first strategy that I probably should have taken a little bit more time to reevaluate. Why might not have I reevaluated? Well, I was seduced by the RRSP tax refund. Getting $5,000, $8,000, or $10,000 tax refund feels like winning. It's immediate, it's tangible, you see the money in your bank account. TFSA contributions, on the other hand, no refund, no immediate reward. So it feels less important, less exciting. Reason 4, I thought I was doing the responsible thing. Maxing your RSP is what you're supposed to do, right? Every personal finance article, every advisor, every podcast, they all said the same thing. Max your RSP first. The TFSA is a secondary thing. So I did. I felt like I was doing what was responsible, like I was doing what was right. But here's the truth. I wasn't being responsible. I was following advice that really wasn't designed for my life. It was designed for somebody else's life, a life with no family obligations, a life where you retire at 65, and that's that. It's really not my life at all. So you're probably asking, when is the moment I realized that I was in the wrong? As I was going over my accounts, I realized that my RRSP is very, very healthy. I've been managing it for 20 years now. I've been really investing in that account and it's grown. The compound interest is doing its job. But my TFSA, it's nearly empty. I mean, I've put money in, I've taken money out, but I really had the reflection last year where I have to think, what am I actually trying to build here? So that's when I really thought about it. I've been managing my investments successfully for over 20 years, but I've been optimizing in the wrong account. I've optimized for tax deduction. I should have been optimizing for flexibility. I've optimized for doing what I'm supposed to do, as opposed to optimizing for options that my parents never had. And the TFSA, that's the account that gives you flexibility, accessibility, and control. It also gives you tax-free growth, tax-free withdrawals, no mandatory withdrawals at 71, and no penalties for accessing before retirement. It's not a savings account. It's a flexibility account for people who need options before traditional retirement age. So the question is, what am I doing about it? Well, I'm catching up my TFSA and I'm doing it on this forum in this series so you can learn from what took me so long to figure out. And here's what I did to start. I moved $5,000 into my TFSA at the beginning of 2026 just to get it started and really to just stop procrastinating, taking that first step forward. Here's what I'm planning going forward. In Q1 2026, I'm going to add $50 a week to this plan, which will translate to about $650 for the quarter. And at the end of every quarter, I'm going to try my best to increase that by $25 a week so that at the end of the year, I will have not only that $5,000 initial transfer, but about $5,200 in contributions for $10,200 invested in my TFSA. Plus, should I get any bonuses or extra income, I'll use that as well to top up the contribution room that I have in my TFSA. While it's not maxing out my TFSA in one shot, it's actually starting. And it's starting with what I should have done 15 years ago when the TFSA was introduced. Now, your next question might be, what are you investing it in? Since the TFSA is growing, I'm going to keep it very, very simple. I'm going to look at an all-in-one ETF, just pick that one, set it and forget it. And I'll share exactly which one in an upcoming video. But the point is choosing one investment, not 10, not 5, just one. My RRSP is a little bit more complex. I have multiple holdings. I do rebalance often and I pay attention. But my TFSA, I want to make it very simple because the goal here isn't to optimize every single percentage point. The goal is to build flexibility and really introduce, for me, options that my family never had. So here's what I'm not doing. I'm not stopping my RRSP contributions completely. I'm not cashing out my RRSP because for me, that would honestly be a tax disaster. I'm just shifting my focus. The TFSA first, the RRSP second. Okay, so if you're watching this and you're thinking, wait, I've been doing the same thing, ask yourself, do you need flexibility before 65? Maybe there's a chance that you might have a forced or an optional retirement before 65? Are you your family's safety net where you might need access to those dollars in a cost-effective way before you go off on retirement? Do you also want to have options that your family never had? If you answered yes to any of these questions, the TFSA might be your better account to focus on for building wealth. Now, on the next video, I'm going to talk about robo-advisors versus self-directed investing and when to make the jump from one to the other. Because a lot of you are probably using a robo-advisor right now. And if you're wondering, should I graduate to managing my own investments? I'm going to answer that question. So if you made it this far, thank you so much. If you would like to like this video as well as subscribe, you'll get notified when I post. And if you're interested, I also have a weekly newsletter where I share my honest journey of catching up with my TFSA, and the link is in the description. All right, that's it. Remember, you can know how to build wealth, but still be prioritizing the wrong account. Make sure your strategy matches your actual life, not a textbook life. I hope to see you next week.